Hey guys, welcome back. This is another review for you guys, and this is a different film. This is a 2015 sci-fi thriller, found footage movie that was produced by Michael Bay. Yes, I know this is the same guy that ruined Ninja Turtles and Transformers, but this is actually something decent that he did because he didn't direct it, write it, or produce it. So my bad, he produced it, but he didn't direct it or write it. So, and he didn't have any stupid humor in it that wasn't funny. But it's a really good film. I liked it. I saw this film in January and I was like, that movie actually was entertaining. And it wasn't one of these downbeat found footage films where everybody dies, which was stupid. I don't like when they do that. And it is a film that I bought last year on at Five Below, Project Almanac. This is a fun movie. I actually like this film. I like the lead guy. He's an unknown. At the time I didn't know who he was. His name is whatchamacallit, let's see, Johnny Weston. He's a good actor. He was in the Divergent series Insurgent, which I'm going to see someday because I saw the first one. And yeah, Michael Bay produced it, but it's a good looking film. That's one positive I could say about the film. There's a lot of positives. I think the cast is a lot of fun. I like Johnny Weston. I like the girls in it are really beautiful. You got the blonde girl here. You got this gorgeous little girl this young girl that she's on the show The Mick. I forgot the name of the cast, but you have the Asian guy that was in he played the Asian nerd in Zoe 101. I remember him in that. And you also have I think not Michael Lerner, the kid that plays Jeff Schwartz in the Goldbergs, and he was also the voice of Chowder in Monster House. I forget names because these are mostly unknown cast members. But this is a very fun movie. I was intrigued by the premise, just like with Passengers. So screw you haters that hated on that movie because it didn't deserve it. It got 2 Oscar nominations. Ha! See, I'm not the only one that was a fan of the visuals. Anyway, this is about Project Almanac. I already reviewed Passengers. This is really, really good stuff. Like, I like the premise that they're trying to make a time machine to go back and to try to jump through time and just explore, and how their lives would be different if they could go back like a day or two and change their reality. It's a very cool premise. I like that. It's a good premise. I like the director, Dean Israelite, did a really good job with this. I mean, the film looks great. Actually a lower budgeted sci-fi film. It doesn't cost $150 million. It's done better. And I'm going to say this right now. I know that these people are going to come with the pitchforks and say that I'm insane. Oh, you're an idiot. I preferred this over The Force Awakens. Yeah, I preferred it. I preferred it. You know why? Better cast. The girls are more beautiful. The premise was interesting. The story was original. It wasn't a rehash. Wink. This movie was a lot of fun. If this was an action movie, if this was a sci-fi action movie without the found footage, this would be like in my top like favorite films of 2015. And this came out the same year. Early, like they said 2014, but it's also said 2015. I think it came out in January. So it kind of got overlooked because of that movie. But I prefer this movie, Project Almanac. I'm going to get this on Blu-ray one day because it's a good film. The premise alone just sucked me right in. I watched this movie. It's an hour and 46 minutes, and I was never bored. I was like, oh man, what's going to happen next? And also the shaky camera, when they were moving around because it's found footage, didn't actually bother me that much. It wasn't nauseating because in Cloverfield, really good movie, but the shaky cam could get on my nerves. Like sometimes I don't know what's going on, or like in Blair Witch Project, like they shake the camera too much, or in other movies like, where I don't know what the hell's going on. But here I could see what was going on. The cast has really good chemistry. The acting is actually good. Oh my God, pinch me. There's no Brits in this movie. Yeah, suck it, J.J. Abrams. You wish you could have made this movie. I like that Michael Bay produced this because it was interesting and I got something out of it. The music was good, the score and the soundtrack and the emotion. These people are not robots. They have emotion. They act like real people. They don't act like super being freaking SJW freaking fan fiction characters. They act like real people. Thank you very much. That's how I want to see people that I can relate to. This boy with the backpack that sends him into time, through time, it's interesting. Yes, it's unrealistic. This is a freaking movie, people. You don't have to have everything. You want to see realism? Go see a documentary on like wildlife. That's real. This is a movie. It's fiction. It's not real, but it works. It sucked me right in. Problems? Well, there's some scenes that kind of get repetitive, but that's because it's a found footage movie. But I was sucked in, right? Like if this was a documentary, I would have been like, oh my god, this is. I should have saw this in the theater. I should have. I should have seen Jurassic World. No, I shouldn't have seen that because that was garbage. And TFA, I'm sorry, beautiful visuals. Yes, it's well directed for the most part with the visuals, and the costumes are great and the locations are great. But your lead girl sucks. Here, this lead girl is actually beautiful, and she has some freaking intrigue, and she's not a superhero. She's human. The freaking girl here. Let me take a look. Look at that face. That is a gorgeous face. Yeah, of course, she's a mix and she's beautiful. She's young and vibrant, and she's not. I'm frowny, and I'm gonna have a stick with me, and I'm gonna walk around the sand. No, and she didn't try to quit acting. Wink, wink. This girl was really freaking good, man, and so was the blonde girl. They act human. 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 Not superhuman. Not freaking, like a freaking, thing. I know. I'm gonna digress on that because I just, this movie just, it pisses me off that this movie didn't make like a $500 million, and I think it's better. It's better than Jurassic World in every way, that's for sure. It's better than TFA. I got more invested with the characters. The emotion was real. It didn't feel rehashed like stuff that I've seen before. And I saw Cloverfield a couple years back. I've seen found footage films, mostly in the horror genre. I didn't see Blair Witch, but I've seen a bunch of them. I saw The Tunnel. I saw A Devil Inside, which was horrible. And yeah, I've seen it. Even Earth to Echo, and that came out like a year before this. This is definitely better. Rotten Tomatoes, you're wrong. This is a very intriguing movie. Sci-fi is my jam, and when you do it right, you get this. When you do it wrong, you get Jupiter Ascending. You get freaking, some of the Star Trek sequels, like Insurrection, which bored me to death. You get Lost in Space, the freaking movie, which I hated. This is how you do it right, and with a budget that's modest and with actors that are fresh faced but they can act and they're good. And I'm praising this movie because guess what? I saw it a month ago. I'm like, wow, I want to keep watching it. I want to see a sequel. Well, the ending is basically, it's not a downbeat ending, but I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. You can find this at any Five Below uh, in the country, or you can definitely get this really cheap on Amazon. It's worth your time. It says here, a smart and thrilling time travel movie. Silas Lesnick, coming soon.net. Absolutely, sir. Yes, yes, yes. This is smart. This is thrilling. The premise alone kept me interested the whole time. A movie you want to see with your friends again and again. Riley Roberts, critics.com. I agree with that. This is fun to watch. I wish I could do a podcast with my friends and we could do a commentary on this movie if they all had a copy of it because it's that good. I would definitely say it's worth watching with people just to get some entertainment out of it. There's things you might relate to. One of the guys goes back in time and he could predict the future, so he like wins a lottery ticket and he buys a car and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I would do the same thing if I could go back in time and get something from the past and then bring it to the future and then alter my reality because sometimes it sucks to be broke. But anyway, that's another story. But this is a fun movie. I was very entertained. This would have been in my top 10 of 2015. Honestly, was it 2015? Yes, it was early 2015. This wasn't one of those garbage dump movies that were dumped in like February or January. This actually did come out in the winter of 2015. And when I saw the trailer in 2014, I'm like, you know what? That actually looks pretty good. Then I saw Michael Bay's name and I was dreading it. But he didn't write it. He didn't direct it. The people that wrote this film are Jason Harry Pagan and Andrew Dushman. They did a great job with this. They act like real teenagers, young kids, because they're in high school, but they look like they're in college. But putting that aside, it is very intriguing. This is this is the reason why I hate Hollywood nowadays because all they want to do is rehash the same stories we've seen 100 billion times before. And this is not a rant because I like this movie. It's really well done, but I want to see originality done well that pays off. this did pay off. It was a hit. I would have loved to have seen a sequel to this, unlike Jurassic World or Rogue One, which I guarantee you when I review that movie, it's going to be a rant for as long as I can go because I don't care about that cast at all. Here, I like the cast. This is fun. This wasn't boring. This wasn't a rehash story. It's like Passengers. It was something we've seen before, sci-fi, but done in a way that brings me in. It draws me in. It's my favorite genre of all freaking time, and this movie is the reason why I love sci-fi so much. Time travel and space battles and lightsaber battles and the original Star Wars and freaking robots and aliens. It just draws me in, man. I'm so passionate about that genre. I just love it. And this movie was a big surprise. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dean Israelite. Michael Bay, this is the best thing you produced in years. I'm going to say this right now. Your Ninja Turtles movie sucked. Your freaking Transformers movies are boring. Some of the horror films you produce were ass. This was a big surprise for me, and I was not expecting it. It was a little movie that could, just like Ant-Man was that same year, which was a movie that everybody thought was going to be dumb and bad, and it surpassed people's expectations, especially for a character I didn't even care about when I was a kid. But this, I do care about this movie. I want to get it on Blu-ray because the DVD is bare bones. I'm gonna keep it for, on this, for keepsake because I got it for $5, and it just really surprised me. I was very, very entertained from beginning to end. I was like, that was a fun movie. I wish they would make a sequel or a spin-off or a TV show, just something. And the title is really cool, Project Almanac. It's a cool title, and it delivered on every spade. Screw the critics that said this movie was cliche and generic, and it has a cool premise, but it falls flat. You're wrong. I'm sorry. You are dead wrong with this and with Passengers. They're movies that just suck me right in. It's like, oh wow, this premise is interesting. I want to see it. I couldn't keep my eyes off the movie, and that's rare now because now we're seeing just the same thing. We're seeing a sequel we don't want, a reboot we don't want, a remake we don't want, a freaking spin-off we don't want. TV shows getting revived that have been dead for 10 years and they're bringing them back. Why? I don't understand it. The only TV show coming back that I even care about is Mystery Science Theater. Because at least it's not like this reboot will destroy the original because it never will. No reboot can ever do that. But this is not about that. This movie's awesome. Watch it. It's a good time. And I said it. Better than any of the new Star Wars movies we're ever going to get. And I know people are going to say, oh, this is not the same genre. Star Wars is sci-fi fantasy. This is sci-fi uh, action slash thriller slash a drama in some areas. But it works. And it's original, for Christ's sake. It's original, which I haven't said in a long time. People praised Edge of Tomorrow for its originality, yet barely made a nickel in the U.S. and this made more on a modest budget. It has CGI, but it's not so bad that it takes me out of the movie. It's good, and it's a good cast, good movie, good freaking experience. And I wished I had seen this in theaters, but it came out at the wrong time. But anyway, that's my ultra freaking deep, reaction to this movie because I'm very surprised. I said, please don't suck, and it didn't. And if I had seen this in the theater, I would have been like, damn, that was an awesome movie. Because I just love getting sucked into interesting premises that pay off big time. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. I just wanted to let that out. I was so passionate. I had a rough week. I was looking for work and that fell through. And the weather was terrible. It was like cloudy and cold, and my dad's been sick, so it wasn't the really best week to end February. But hey, March is on the way. I'm gonna get Doctor Strange next week. I'm gonna feel a lot better when I see that freaking movie because I love that movie. It defies gravity, and so did this movie in a certain sense. So, there are better things to come in the future. I know it is. I mean, Guardians is coming out in a few months. I'm gonna love every second of that because sci-fi is my jam. I love it. It's what thrills me the most. It's what I feel inside of these veins of mine, and just it's a genre that to me will never die because we have so many movies coming out in the sci-fi genre this year. We got Life, we have Guardians 2, We have freaking Doctor Strange, and we have Thor Ragnarok that has some sci-fi elements because Doctor Strange is gonna probably open a portal to get to the thing, and also what else? Spider-Man: Homecoming, that's gonna have some sci-fi in it too. I'm looking forward to this year. There's many more movies in the sci-fi genre that are gonna just wow me. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.